Tennis Championships. They're brought to you by Rolex, precision timepieces that deliver peerless performance and matchless elegance both on and off the court. By Federal Express, absolutely positively the best in the business. By Southern Bell, a Bell South company. Make doing business a touch easier. Call on us. By Oldsmobile. Stop by your Oldsmobile dealer and see what's new from the new generation of Olds. And by Tropicana. Tropicana Pure Premium. You can't pick a better juice. We welcome you to Miami Beach and Abel Holtz Stadium. I'm John Sanders, along with the managing editor of World Tennis Magazine, Cindy Schmerler. You know, Cindy, you go down the list of people who've won here. You start with Evert, Connors, McEnroe, and you can talk about Jennifer Capriati. A lot of Americans have used this as a springboard to tennis greatness, but we don't have any Americans in our four finals today.
You know, John, the shift is eastward to Europe. The whole reason being clay. Americans, try as they might to play on the stuff, still haven't mastered it, certainly not on the junior level, whereas the Europeans, Spaniards, Soviets, they grow up playing on clay. They love it. They know how to work the court well.
There were a lot of Americans who were highly seeded coming into this tournament. The draw was huge, some 400 players from all over the world. But I think where you were seated, as it turned out today, when we get to the final round, means absolutely nothing. They
base the seedings for the Rolex Orange Bowl on the International Tennis Federation rankings, which means if you've done well at other tournaments, you'll be seated here. Some of these kids from Europe don't play those other tournaments, so you get somebody like an Ivan Barron from Florida, seated high, lost early.
One dramatic change from last year, that's the weather. It's about 50 degrees warmer.
And that wreaked havoc last year. The kids had no idea what to do with the swirling winds. This year, the conditions are ideal.
We have four outstanding matches coming up. We will start with our girls' 16 final. We'll be back to begin that match right after this word. Stay with us.
The Rolex World of Tennis, Wimbledon, where Rolex is the official timepiece and where Chris Evert has earned her place in history. This three-time Wimbledon champion graces the famed center court with skill and elegance. Like her timepiece, the Rolex Lady Datejust in stainless steel and 18-karat gold. Only at your official Rolex jeweler.
Oh, hey! You know, Super Bowl tickets are really tough to find. In fact, my brother-in-law used to say, hey, I'll get you some. He never delivered. This is what happened to him. Now, I know where you can get 24 Super Bowl tickets for $9.95. Come on, I'll show you. Here you are. 24 tickets to the biggest game in the NFL. The commemorative 25th anniversary Super Bowl Super Tickets poster. This is a collector's item. From the first game in 1967 to the 1991 ticket theme art, plus teams and scores from all the games. This one's mine, but you can get your own by calling the number that's on your screen. Talk about a great deal. You get a 24 by 36-inch 5-color poster, perfect for framing. It makes a great gift, and it's the collector's item of the 90s. All for $9.95 plus $2.50 shipping and handling. I'm going to get another one.
To order your official Super Tickets poster, call 1-800-272-6100 now. Check, money order, Visa, or MasterCard accepted. Available only through this offer.
The weather is gorgeous in Miami Beach as we prepare for our girls' 16 final, a matchup of players from Holland and France, Petra Kamstra and Axel Thomas.
Petra Kamstra is a very experienced young woman despite her youth. She's already led the Netherlands to the World Youth Cup earlier this year. She's got a contract with International Management Group. She's got a big pro career ahead of her.
We are looking at the first set. Kamstra serving here, and her problem in that first set, too many errors that were not forced.
Yeah, she lost her head a little bit. She got angry. She's got great versatility, can do most anything on the court, but she does make too many errors.
She goes with the backhand, tries to come in, and you see that she nets the shot. The first set was won by Thomas 6-3. Does that surprise you?
Yeah, it does. What Thomas is doing well here is she's moving the ball around the court well. She's got nice strokes, nothing overpowering, but she's keeping the ball in the court, whereas Kamstra's making errors.
And only 14 years of age for Kamstra, getting into this championship This is the second set of play. Maybe the nerves will wear off a bit.
Yeah, and actually, Thomas is looking tired, and there you see Kamstra won the second set. Thomas has let down a lot, and Kamstra's taking advantage of it.
We pick it up in the third set. Thomas, down 2-5, is serving.
Beautiful shot by Kamstra. Little drop shot. Thomas is just too tired. She's not going to get to something like that at this stage of the match.
And hoping for a break, hoping the call was wide.
Ooh, Thomas thinks that the drop shot was out. She's very upset about it. Begging the lines person, begging the chair umpire. And Kamstra's now coming up to join in the fray.
And of course, on play, you can see the marks.
And it's not at all unusual to see a chair umpire get out of her post, go down and check the mark. Thomas still doesn't like it. You see the ball in the back of her skirt, a little like a Rancha Sanchez Vicario.
Well, she's not going to get the call reversed. That's obvious. But she's going to continue to argue. In the near court, Petra Kamstra is only 14 years old, as you mentioned. What a great future she has.
Her agent, Chino Marchese of IMG, says that she can do anything. She may not be perfect now, but she will be in the future. She's got wonderful handwork.
Thomas, on the other hand, is 16 years old.
And she is coached by Gail Champreau, the Australian former top tenor who now works with French juniors.
Kamstra trying to break here, and if she does, she will be the girls' 16 champion for 1990.
You see a little pouting from Kamstra. She's been doing that throughout the match. She doesn't like what's happening. She lets us know it.
What are the things that she is going to have to improve on as she goes along?
That's a tired shot from Axel Thomas. She was well within reach of the ball. It was a good drop shot by Kamstra, but not that good.
It is 15-30. And serving at 2-5 is Thomas. The sets are even at 1 apiece. That is wide, and it's 30-all. They called it good. Sorry.
Thomas just can't believe it. This is 2 calls against her in the same game. She's stunned.
She is stunned, but she will have the point replayed, so it remains 15-30.
And the reason they'll replay a point then, John, is because Thomas could have put her racket on the ball, but because it was called out.
She nets the forehand, so it goes to 15-40, and she is moving ever closer to winding up number 2 in this tournament. Kamstra at 14 from Rotterdam, the Netherlands, Holland. She's about 5'5", 110 pounds. Not much of her there.
No, and she's following in a great tradition. Betty Stova from the Netherlands. Now Brenda Schultz playing on the women's tour. And Kamstra's already playing professional events.
A la Jennifer Capriati.
Jennifer, incidentally, played here, never won the tournament. Lost it 3 years.
A double fault is the way that it will end for Thomas. And the champion of the Rolex Orange Bowl Championship for 1990 is 14-year-old Petra Kamstra. And with more on junior tennis, here's Cindy Schmerler.
I'm here with Lynn Raleigh and Nick Saviano, coaches with the U.S. national team. Lynn, there's been a big resurgence in American junior tennis. What role has the USTA played in that?
The USTA is very involved with junior tennis at this point. We have a player development program that has been developing over the last 4 years, and I think you can see that at the top of the scale we have really up-and-coming new stars such as Pete Sampras, Jennifer Capriati, Michael Chang, who are very well-known names. On the other hand, we have a national team that is now full-time, traveling internationally, getting as much experience as possible at a younger age than we've ever had the opportunity to offer them. We also have 2,000 kids in the United States that are involved in our area training centers. We have 110 area training center coaches who are involved in our player development program. And so we are in touch with many kids at various stages of their development.
Nick, there's been so much discussion. Most of the kids at the Rolex Orange Bowl, the foreign kids, are all already professionals. American kids are not. How can you make the distinction as to whether or not these kids, Americans, should turn pro or go to college?
Well, that's a really difficult question, one that all the top young juniors tussle with. We believe that it's important for most of them to go to college. In almost 99 out of 100 cases, they should all go to college because they don't want to put all their eggs in one basket. For those who are good enough at a young age to possibly sign major contracts, which are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, and in some cases millions of dollars, well, then you can consider it. But as far as our position, we recommend that most players go to college, go there for a few years, test the waters, and then go from there and then make their own decisions as far as turning pro. It's a very, very difficult decision. It's a decision that affects them for their entire life. We're very sensitive to that, and what we try to do is to present both sides of the picture so they understand the downside of turning pro as well as the obvious positive aspects of the glamour, the money, the fame, and fortune. It's very important that they know the total picture.
Well, obviously, these kids are getting some good coaching. John?
Cindy, thank you. Coming up, an interview with our first Rolex Orange Bowl champion for 1990 and the boys' 16 final.
For some time now, we've told you that no other major brand of juice comes closer to this than this Tropicana Pure Premium. However, for those times when you might prefer a smaller, more portable orange juice, no other major brand comes closer to this than the Tropicana Pure Premium single-serve carton, which is conveniently available in packs of 3. Tropicana Pure Premium 3-packs. You just can't pick a better juice.
If you want to see the world, look to Continental. We fly to over 140 destinations throughout the U.S. and around the world. From Europe to Australia to Japan to the Caribbean and just about everywhere in between. Our goal is exceptional service and reliability. Plus, there's no faster way to earn free travel than one pass. So when you want to step out on the town, step out with Continental.
It's a college basketball doubleheader. First, the Cougars want a piece of the SWC pie, but the Bears' running game could keep them from their just desserts in a Southwest Conference showdown, followed by a Big Sky blowout. The Broncos battle the Bobcats. Boise State and Montana State live. Beginning at 8:30 Eastern, Wednesday, January 2nd on Prime Network. Available on most Prime affiliates.
There are 4 absolutes that'll help you get the most out of your ability as a pitcher. Balance, direction, weight transfer, and deception. Each one of these 4 absolutes are discussed in length in a 1-hour video called Pitching Absolutes by me, Tom House. And here's how to order it.
Call 1-800-937-3366. Tom House, Pitching Absolutes.
I'm here with Petra Kamstra, the girls' 16s winner from the Netherlands. And Petra, a little bit of a slow start. Were you nervous out there?
Yeah, I made too much mistakes in the first set, and I was not that nervous, but she played just the ball high, and it was very difficult in the beginning also with the wind, and I made too many mistakes in the first set.
Is this a tough match for you to play? I know you like power players a little bit more.
Yeah, the match before yesterday it was much better because the girl was hitting much harder than her, and that's what I like more.
What do you have to do to compensate for your game?
Excuse me?
To change. How do you change your game to play somebody like Axel?
Yeah, just put the ball in the how do you say?
In the court.
In the court. yeah, and then if I have a chance, I have to come in to the net and then make aggressive strokes.
She made the right strokes, and she's our first winner here in Miami Beach. The wind beginning to pick up as we get set for the boys' 16 final. It's a matchup of 2 young men, both 16, and both from Spain. Alex Correia is seated at number 9, and Gisbert is not seated. You can see we are in the second set. The first set went to Correia. The second set tied 6-all, and Cindy, we're in the tiebreaker as we pick it up. Correia leading 3-2 and serving.
It's something of a surprise that Gisbert is in the final, except when you look at his genes. His father, Juan Gisbert Sr., was a former Spanish Davis Cupper. He's passed along not only his genes, but his height. Gisbert's about 6'5".
Both players 16 years old. Correia seeded number 9, as we mentioned. And it is long, and it is 3-3 in the tiebreaker.
This is typical clay court tennis. Big, looping topspin forehands. Only coming into the net when they know they've got a sure thing to put away the ball. Gisbert should be in the net more rapidly because he's taller and can put things away, but he doesn't.
Based on what you said about the amount of play that youngsters like these get on clay, the fact that they reach the final in this tournament is really not a surprise.
No, they grow up on clay. Obviously, we know from the Sanchez family from Barcelona, this is their surface. They're very comfortable. They rarely play on hard courts. If this tournament were held on a hard court, I don't think you'd see either one of these young men in the quarters, let alone the final.
Gisbert is very tall. He's about 6'5", weighs almost 200 pounds, so he's very large. So the point goes to Gisbert, loser in the first set. Correia won that first set 6-4. We're in the second set and in a tiebreaker.
John, Correia is very much of a counter puncher. He's content to sit on the baseline and wait for his opponent to make an error, which is exactly what happened with Gisbert in the last point at the net. Gisbert popped a string. He's going over to change rackets.
And you can see the wind whipping across the court just a bit. Certainly a much milder wind than the youngsters had to face last year here in Miami Beach when the entire country was in a deep freeze. But this year it is beautiful for the holidays.
And you can see the suntans on all the players. They've been taking advantage of it. They came to the Rolex Orange Bowl on the heels of playing the Sunshine and Continental Players Cup. Continental Players Cup for women won by Spain. Sunshine Cup won by the Soviet Union.
How many matches do you have to win as Gisbert prepares to serve to reach a final in this tournament? It depends, obviously, whether you're a qualifier, a non-qualifier, seed, whatever, but 5 normally. Is that correct?
Yes.
Gisbert preparing now. Trying to get back in the match after losing the opening set to Alex Correia. Both youngsters 16 years old and both from Spain. Reaction from Gisbert, 5-4 in the tiebreaker. Correia thought the ball was wide. He appeals.
Correia is actually the Spanish champion in the boys 18 and under, where Juan Gisbert, on the other hand, reached the final of the Spanish championships for 16 and unders, and he also reached the semifinal of the European championships for 16 and unders.
Correia much shorter. He's only 5'10". Remember, we told you that Gisbert is about 6'6", and not able to get to that shot.
He's not quite as agile. When you've got that tremendous amount of height, you don't move quite as quickly.
5-5 in the tiebreaker after Correia won the opening set. So a chance here, if he can win the tiebreaker, to win the boys 16 championship at the Rolex Orange Bowl tournament for 1990. I always have trouble, Cindy, thinking about this tournament. Is it the end of 1990 or is it the start of 91?
Well, it can be considered either one. These youngsters have been on the road for several weeks now. They started down here in Florida earlier this month. They go on to New York for the Port Washington Junior Tournament. It's a whole circuit that closes out the year. But it's a big arbiter for what will happen in 91.
Correia seeded number 9, and Gisbert was not seeded in this event.
Oh, that's a perfect forehand down the line pass. Again, Gisbert's height left him less agile, less able to move up at the net. He's got more brute strength, but less agility.
Gisbert trying to stay in the match. And he puts away the forehand smash, the overhead smash after the lob. The lob was very short, made it easy for him.
Well, he actually set up that point with that looping forehand topspin cross court that caught Correia off balance, forced him to throw up that very defensive lob, which Gisbert put away.
This is Abel Holt Stadium. You can see the scoreboard in the background, keeping track of this match, which is tied 6-6 in the tiebreaker. Gisbert serving in the near court. Correia deep along that baseline will have to come in. And does it nicely.
Perfect backhand right at Gisbert. Gisbert set up the point with the drop shot, brought himself into the net, but Correia managed to put the backhand right at Gisbert's navel.
So this is match point. As far as Correia is concerned, if he can win this serve, he will win the match. Alex Correia, Juan Gisbert, and he comes in quickly this time and finishes it off.
Very courageous move by Correia to come in on match point.
It wins him the championship. Correia, a winner over Gisbert. You see the difference in size. Correia is the champion here. Let's go to Cindy Schmerler.
I'm down here with Alex Correia, the boys 16s champion. And Alex, the second set a lot closer than the first.
Yeah, the second set was very interesting because I have 5-3 and his serve, and after 5-4 on my serve I lost, and 6-5 I serve, and the tiebreak was incredible, 8-6.
What do you have to do differently to make a match like this end quick?
In quick? I think that in quick it's difficult to play with him because it's tall, no? And he served very well, but I play well too in quick, I think.
We're in Miami Beach, but Spain will still be featured in the girls' 18 final. That's next.
Imagine you were building a town. One company can supply you with almost any kind of truck to do almost any kind of job. That company is Ryder. We're more than yellow trucks. We help build towns, business by business, family by family, dream by dream. Ryder, we're there at every turn.
For some of us, the hottest part of the year can also be the hardest. And while there are plenty of cool ways to quench your thirst, the ones that replace vital fluids and minerals usually don't taste very good. This year, try 10K with vitamin C and low sodium, and it tastes great. So when the weather heats up, keep your cool with a 10K.
Metro Conference rivals collide when the Seminoles go on the warpath with an offensive tide of battles showdown. Husky, Arizona, beginning at 80 words.
Like in your you die. Look what I do.
As the Rolex will hold state very much. And from Spain again, Pili Perez and Silvia Ramon. One is 17, the other is 18. Game one of their girls' final match.
Both young women are teammates on the Spanish national junior team. They won the Continental Players Cup. Pili Perez has had tremendous professional experience. She was a member of the Spanish Federation Cup team. In fact, was called into action when Arantxa Sanchez Vicario sprained her ankle against the Soviet Union. She and Conchita Martinez played doubles against Larissa Savchenko and Natalia Zvereva. As she says, we got killed.
Well, we talk about qualifying and reaching this championship round, and for Silvia Ramon, that has meant a very busy schedule, has it not?
Ironically, John, here's Silvia Ramon. She's in the final. She had to qualify. Again, that's because she was not ranked in the ITF junior ranking. She's been playing pro tournaments. What that meant, though, was because Spain was doing so well in the Continental Players Cup was each day Silvia would have to drive down from Delray Beach, which is a good hour away, drive down to Miami Beach to play the qualifying for the Rolex Orange Bowl, then go back up and play her match for the Continental Players Cup.
That's enough tennis for anybody. Perez quite tall, 6 feet. She's in the far court, reacting to the out call. It is 15:30 as she serves. Game one of our girls' 18 final. A tall lefty.
Look out for Pili Perez. Huge looping topspin forehand coming from a lefty. Very difficult to play against. She's also tall. She's comfortable on the baseline, but she will come into the net. She's a very aggressive young woman.
Sylvia Ramon is only about 5'4", 30-30 in game one. An unseeded qualifier, but Pili Perez was also unseeded in this tournament.
Well, again, that's because both players are playing more professional tournaments. In fact, Perez has a ranking about number 200 in the world among professional players. She lost in the final of the Spanish Championships of Catalunya to Sanchez Vicaria.
It would be easy, as you pointed out earlier, to look at this and say, well, because they play so much professional tennis, they're that much farther ahead of the American players.
Well, they certainly have international experience. These young people are not at all concerned about having to fight against nerves or anything like that. They travel year-round. They play a lot more than our American youngsters.
It's deuce in game one. Both players staying back on the baseline. That is wide.
Ramona's footwork is not comfortable. She's trying to slide herself around side to side, but she's getting caught.
She has won a couple of tournaments, has she not?
Yes, she, in fact, reached the quarterfinals of the French Open Junior Championships last year, and she's won 2 $10,000 professional events.
The shot is long, and that gives Pili Perez game one of this girls' 18 final here in Miami Beach. Perez leading Ramon 1-love. We move now later in the set, and Perez has built a 5-1 lead.
Sylvia Ramon has just made a tremendous number of unforced errors, whereas Pili Perez has just done nothing spectacular, but she's stayed within control. These two young women have played 4 times. Pili Perez has won 3 of those matches, but Ramon won the last time.
And a chance here to take the first set if she can hold serve in this game, and is leading 30-15, second serve.
John, this first set has been something of a rout.
Did you
Ramon
expect that?
No, but Ramon doesn't seem to be able to get her groove. She may very well be tired. She's played a lot of tennis in the last few weeks.
And again, both players are staying back.
That's no surprise. Women's tennis, especially on the junior level, unless somebody has a surefire winner, they're not going to go to the net.
Carries long. And we're at 30-30.
Sylvia Ramon probably sneaking a peek over her coach on the side there.
Perez first serve is long, and she is serving for the first set, leading 5-1. And she nets the backhand as she tried to go down the line.
Pili Perez is unseeded, but she did knock off the number 2 seed American Lisa Raymond from Wayne, Pennsylvania, the quarterfinals, and the number 5 seed in the semifinals.
It's a break point. No longer.
Perez counts among her strengths, her forehand and her serve. No surprise there. Look at that big looping forehand.
She really winds it up, doesn't she?
Would be imposing on the other side of the court.
We're at deuce in this game. If Perez can hold serve, and she has the advantage now as that one is wide, she will win the first set. In the girls' 16 final, we saw a very sluggish beginning by an eventual champion, so that could be some of the nerve factor playing in here, maybe.
I think it's nerves and fatigue. Again, you have to remember that Sylvia Ramon has played 3 more matches than Pili Perez has in this tournament. Again, that's because she had to qualify,
which none of the players wants to do.
No, and I think she was actually upset about it. Certainly the Spanish coach was.
Perez this time comes in. Almost got herself into trouble.
Beautiful angle backhand volley. Ramon was there, but she couldn't quite push it over the net.
Perez wins the first set 6-1. Can Ramon bounce back? We'll find out when we return to beautiful Miami Beach for the Rolex Orange Bowl Tennis Championship.
On
On Wall Street, fortunes are won and lost and won again before 10:30. Amid the halls of ivy, the best ideas often come and go before 10:30. And on the back lots of Hollywood, love often blooms and fades before 10:30. Which is why Federal Express delivers before 10:30 at more places around the country than anyone else. Federal Express, absolutely, positively the best in the business.
Why? What have you been doing? In the last 2 months alone, we've put 3 million people on these airplanes. Over 700,000 of them have flown on our corporate rate, which is only the best deal in the history of the airline business. We're flying 800 trips a day to 90 cities. That's not shabby for a company that was flat on its back 8 or 9 months ago.
It's the classic confrontation. An American-Soviet Union clash on the court. Leading the U.S. barrage is Notre Dame. Coach Tigger Phelps inspires a lethal Fighting Irish charge that's armed to do battle. But their attack is countered by a menacing Soviet assault that dominated the World Championships. The Centennial Classic, live. 7:30 Eastern, Sunday night on Prime Network. Available on most Prime affiliates.
Here's the way it stands as we come back to the Rolex Orange Bowl Tennis Championship, the girls' 18 final. We're in a tiebreaker in the second set. Perez leads 2-1, and Ramon is serving.
Big shift in momentum here. Sylvia Ramon has sort of had her second, third, and fourth wins. Remember, John, these two women know each other very well. They've played together for a number of years, so it's a little harder to throw an element of surprise.
Second straight final, which has been all Spain.
Now Ramon is throwing in some of her own topspin. Change the pace. That's how you come back.
She tried to go down the line, not able to do it, and Perez goes up 3-1 in this tiebreaker after winning the opening set 6-1, and another serve is coming up here for Sylvia Ramon.
Perez would dearly love to close out this tiebreaker. She does not want it to go to a third set. She's losing momentum now.
That is just out. 3-2. Pili Perez, after winning the first set, has the lead right now in the tiebreaker. She will be serving at 3-2. What we have seen so far in Miami Beach certainly speaks well of Spanish tennis for the future, I would think.
Yeah, it all started with the Sanchez family. Recent dominance in Spain by Emilio, Javier, and Arantxa Sanchez Vicario. They've inspired a whole new generation of Spanish youngsters. It were a costly double fault there by Pili Perez.
Even at 3-3 now in the tiebreaker as Perez with the double fault, trying to defeat Sylvia Ramon. They have changed sides now, and Perez is in the near court.
Oh, what a beautiful point by both players. Sylvia Ramon taking the chance. She's not particularly comfortable at the net. She came in with a drop volley. Perez got it, but Ramon was there with the answered forehand volley winner.
And that gave her the lead, 4-3 in the tiebreaker. 6-all in games after Perez in the near court won the opening set 6-1. This is our girls' 18 championship match. 47th year of the Rolex Orange Bowl Tennis Tournament.
A slap of the thigh by Pili Perez. She knows that she was given a gift there.
Maybe trying to pump herself up a bit, too, to go ahead and finish this off in the tiebreaker. Sylvia Ramon in the far court serving. And again, both young ladies content to stay back on that baseline.
You'll see that every chance she gets, Pili Perez will run around the backhand to hit that forehand. That's where her strength is. She gets most of her power. Look at her there. She's off the court to hit the forehand. And she got herself in trouble.
Sylvia Ramon worked herself into good position, put away the winner, and takes a 5-4 lead in the tiebreaker. We have seen, I think, a bit more effort by Ramon to come to the net than Perez.
Well, Ramon, as the loser, needs to change her game. It's as Althea Gibson once said, always change a losing game, never change a winning one.
It's the best advice you can give anybody. If it works, keep doing it. And that time the forehand looped a little bit long. 6-4 now, Ramon. So this is set point for Ramon.
And Perez is looking a little exasperated. We haven't seen much emotion from her.
Well, she got a break there.
That was a costly error by Ramon. All she needed to do at that point was keep the ball in play.
It is still, though, set point if Ramon can win this point on her serve. Perez is fighting to stay in it, at least in the second set after winning the first set. And again, it's just long, so she wins 2 crucial points. She holds off a couple of set points, and we keep going at 6-6.
And again, they change ends, which puts Pili Perez serving into the sun.
We had mentioned that both players were unseeded, but one had to qualify. Could you kind of explain the difference, Cindy?
Yeah, it means you have to play more matches. Sylvia Ramon came in here having to play 3 more matches than Pili Perez did, so if anything, fatigue is more a factor for her. She is not ranked by the International Tennis Federation because she's been playing professional tournaments. She has no ranking, therefore nobody knows about her, ostensibly in the juniors, and so she wasn't given a spot in the draw, and she had to come in and qualify. Pili Perez, on the other hand, is ranked number 38 by the International Tennis Federation Juniors, which mostly means that she's played more junior events. It's not indicative of talent in any way.
So she was in the tournament, but not among the top 8 seeded players. We're in the tiebreaker, and it's 6-6, and that's a good forehand winner. 3 straight points by Perez, and she takes a 7-6 lead.
Yeah, that was a perfect topspin forehand. Just caught the outside edge of that line. Ramon does not like the call one bit.
Stands with her hands on her hips while Perez gets another ball. This is match point now as she serves at 7-6 in the tiebreaker.
Oh, look at that. She set herself up with the first overhead wide, thought she had the point. Ramon got it back, and she got flummoxed. She didn't know what to do. She took a wide swipe at the ball and netted that bounce overhead.
2 golden opportunities on 2 shots there for Perez, and she could not finish it off. So it's 7-7.
That's also a little overexcitement. I suspect she probably saw the trophy above her head.
Ramon started in a bit. Now she'll have to come all the way to the net.
Smart play by Pili Perez. She drew her in, took advantage of her lack of height, and hit the lob right above her.
So again, with Ramon serving, it becomes match point. Ramon trails 7-8, so a chance for Perez to win the second set and thus the match. Very deep for that forehand.
You're practically in the stands.
Puts it away. That's a winner, and that is the champion of the girls 18. The Rolex Orange Bowl Tournament for 1990. A victory in the tiebreaker and in straight sets. Pili Perez is your champion. She's standing by with Cindy.
Really well done. What happened between the first and second sets there?
Well, I think that first set we were both very nervous because we are both from the same country now, and it's normal. And first set, I think I stayed very calm and I played well, no? And second, well, both we played very well. Sylvia started to move better, and it was a tough set. He could win me because she was winning me 6-4 in tiebreak, but I played well and finally I won.
Well, here's your girls 18s Orange Ball champion, John.
All right, Cindy, thank you very much. We've crowned 3 champions, 1 more to go at the Rolex Orange Bowl Tennis Championships.
In time, all definitions must be revised. But when it came to redefining luxury, it wasn't a Webster, it was Oldsmobile, the all-new 98. Now you can have anti-lock brakes, fuel-efficient power, computerized suspension, technology found in cars costing thousands more, which by my definition could be the greatest luxury of all. And you can always take a Webster at his word.
This is the new 98, luxury redefined. Generation of Olds.
Whether your company is this big or this big, Savin has your copier. Whether you make 5 copies a day or 5,000, Savin has your copier. Whether your job is colorful or simply black and white, Savin has your copier. No matter what you're looking for in a copier, you'll find it at Savin.
To the mean streets, Clint Eastwood has enforced his own style of law. Now, you can own his greatest movies with the Clint Eastwood collection from Time Life Video. As a gritty cop or a gunslinging renegade, Clint delivers non-stop action and some of the most famous one-liners in screen history.
Go ahead. Make my day.
Start your collection with the good, the bad, and the ugly. The classic Western where 3 sharp-shooting outlaws try to outwit and outshoot each other for a fortune. Confederate gold.
Put your drawers on and take your gun off.
Other videos include the outlaw Josie Wales, plus Dirty Harry and Magnum Force. There's no commitment or minimum number to buy, and you keep only the videos you want. So call now for the good, the bad, and the ugly. Here's how to order.
To order your first video, the good, the bad, and the ugly, call 1-800-227-7000 or send just $14.99 plus $3.23 shipping and handling to Clint Eastwood Collection, P.O. Box 1880, Department 28, Alexandria, Virginia.
This is Miami Arena, but we're on the beach at Flamingo Park for the 1990 Rolex Orange Bowl Tennis Championships, the boys 18 final. Oliver Fernández, Andrei Medvedev from the Soviet Union. This is Fernández.
It's a little bit misleading to say that Oliver Fernández is from Plantation, Florida. He is, in fact, the #1 junior from Mexico, lives and trains in Florida.
He is 18 years old. This is action from the opening set, and as you can see from that overhand, Medvedev certainly dominant in the first set, very aggressive in his play.
Medvedev is very comfortable on clay. He has emerged as the top Soviet junior to watch. He, in fact, led his country to the World Youth Cup and to the Sunshine Cup.
This is an interesting contrast, too, to the girls' 18 final because both of these players are seeded. Fernández #3, Medvedev #8.
And Medvedev is dominating. He is moving the ball around the court beautifully. At 16 years old, he has already played professional tournaments. In fact, played the first professional event in Moscow.
And again, Fernández serving. This is still from the opening set. If he's only 16, why wouldn't he play in the 16 rather than the 18?
Because he's already completely dominated the 16s. He's ready to move up.
So you don't necessarily have to be the age. You just can't be more than that age.
In fact, I think that we'll see Medvedev play more and more professional tournaments in 1991. He's ready to move up in competition.
Fernández is 5'7". Medvedev is about 6'4.5".
Medvedev's sister, Natalia Medvedeva, is on the women's professional tour. She and her partner, Leila Meshki, in fact, beat Helena Sukova and Yana Novotna at the Virginia Slims Championships last month.
Well, we talked a lot about the improved play in Spain, but certainly a lot of top-flight players coming out of the Soviet Union as well.
That's the influence of glasnost. The Soviets have more opportunities than ever before. Again, beautiful shot by Medvedev. The Soviets now have tournaments in their country, so they know what it's like to play against the home fans. He had to play the first round of the Kremlin Cup against his countryman Alexander Volkov, and he lost.
Certainly did a great job of adjusting and going on to win the first set 6-4, and we are now looking back at the second set between these two young men. This is the time when if Fernández, you've got to just dig in and say, wait a minute, I've got to get aggressive, win some points.
He also has to hope that Medvedev makes some more unforced errors, as he's just shown us there. Fernández plays on the Mexican Davis Cup team. He actually went to the same high school as Chris Evert, St. Thomas Aquinas, before he quit to turn pro.
And trying to use, as you mentioned, those unforced errors. There is another one that helped him get back and win the second set 6-2. And Cindy Schmerler is standing by with another guest.
John, I'm here with Butch Buchholz, former U.S. Davis Cupper, now tournament chairman of the Lipton International Players Championships. Butch, you've seen a lot of junior tennis over the years. Where does this tournament stack up these days?
Well, Cindy, I think it's one of the crown jewels of junior tennis. I mean, I think it has such a great tradition. Obviously, coming to this great facility and these weather conditions in December is a plus for everybody, although last year was pretty chilly. I think it's a great tennis tournament. I think it means a lot to the kids, and certainly the alumni of people that have won this event are the who's who of professional tennis. So it's clearly a tournament that sort of forecasts, who's going to be great 4 or 5 years from now.
Everybody's been talking about American junior tennis. Now all of a sudden it's on an upswing, and yet in the finals of the Rolex Orange Bowls we're seeing a lot of foreigners. Why is that?
Well, I just think tennis has gotten so much bigger, internationally. I think that the programs that the Europeans have developed are now starting to bear some fruit. And I think I know the United States is looking at this and saying, we're going to have to duplicate, or we're going to not be competitive. And I just think it's just the worldwide interest of the sport. If you have literally millions of kids playing tennis, you're not just going to be the Americans and Australians, right? And I think Europe is really sort of going through what we went through in the 70s.
Well, so Butch, we may be seeing some of these juniors at the Lipton International Players Championships pretty soon.
I think so. That's one of the reasons I'm here. I like to scout the kids, and certainly a lot of kids that when I did this a couple years ago are now playing in the Lipton Championships, and I think it's interesting to see the progress of these kids.
Thanks, John.
Cindy, thank you very much. We'll be back with the deciding set and our boys' 18 final in a minute.
Tennis pump from Reebok. It helps you get around the battlefield with a little more confidence.
Coming up on this special world, we'll take you down under for
College hockey's most intense rivalries are on Prime Network with the CCHA Game of the Week. Dynamic young athletes face off, proving themselves with sweet shots and great goals, and countered by defiance in the net. The Central Collegiate Hockey Association is home to 9 of the most dominant powerhouse teams in the nation. Catch all the high-charged drama and in-your-face action of the CCHA Game of the Week. CCHA Hockey, all season on Prime Network. Available on most Prime Network affiliates.
First time I got high was when I was 11 years old. Where does a kid that age get the money to buy drugs? I used to steal from my own parents. If it came between eating lunch at school or buying a joint with my lunch money, I would buy the joint. I couldn't refuse the drug anymore. It was a part of me. I've got to realize that what I've been through, and that I am an addict, and that I am an alcoholic, and that it's time to stop.
The first two sets were split. Medvedev winning the opening set, Fernández coming back to win the second set, and we pick it up in set 3. Medvedev is leading 4 games to 2, and serving is Fernández, so his back is against the wall.
Medvedev has had a real resurgence of speed and power. Fernández took his hat off.
A costly double fault. It's love 15.
And whereas Medvedev looked tired in the second set, it's Fernández who looks like he's definitely weakened up in this third.
You know, we talked a little bit about the cold of last year taking a toll on the players, and I think the heat has to affect them this year.
Absolutely. It's about 85 degrees down on court. They've been playing in this heat for several weeks, and it's exhausting. It's mentally exhausting, too, to be in the final of a tournament.
And he really didn't get himself in good position for that backhand on the return there, and thus he's down love 30. This is the boys' 18 final, the fourth of our championship events from Miami Beach, Abel Holtz Stadium in Flamingo Park.
John, we talked about the seeding. Well, Oliver Fernández, the reason he's seeded so high is he's ranked number 6 in the world in the ITF junior rankings.
Came in as the number 3 seed in this tournament. Medvedev seeded number 8. Fernández serving at 15-30, down 2-4 in the third and deciding set. The forehand is netted.
What the umpire is explaining is that the minute a call starts to be made, you must replay the point. It was not a clear winner. Fernández does not like the call, but the point is to be replayed. Ooh, a big swipe at the net there.
Of course, it's a costly move for him because he had the point and had gotten even in this game. And you can hear the reaction of the crowd as well. They felt it should have been point to Fernández. Instead, they'll play it over.
Well, remember, Fernández has a following down here. He does live in South Florida.
Even though he is from Mexico.
Oh.
Well, when it's going bad, it goes bad sometimes, doesn't it?
There's the luck of the net.
So instead of 30-30, it's 15-40. And it's going to be tough for Fernández to put that out of his mind and go on.
Exactly. And then, of course, when you get stuck with a let court winner, oh, and a beautiful return by Medvedev. Look, he is pumped. Fernández is quite dejected.
Isn't it interesting in the sport of tennis where one call, one little situation can affect both players so much? Medvedev now leading 5-2 and will be serving for the match.
Medvedev is completely in control at this point. In the second set, he looked tired, listless. In fact, I was convinced that he might be tanking. But no, now he's come back.
So Medvedev now is serving for the victory here in the Rolex Orange Bowl tournament for 1990.
That's just overexcitement. He wants so badly to close out this match.
We have seen that in some of our other matches. When you get to that point where you think you're going to win, you want to win right now. You'd like to take the whole match in one point and be done with it. The style of Medvedev as he gets that backhand winner, is there anything unique about it?
Well, he's a very aggressive baseliner. He's really right out of that Soviet mold. Andrei Chesnikov, Andrei Cherkasov, Alexander Volkov beat Stefan Edberg at the U.S. Open last year. They're all baseliners, but they're all very aggressive.
Very high ball toss on his serve. Really gets all of his 6 feet, 4.5 inch frame into his serve.
It's a very powerful hitter. Nice service motion. Into the net, of course.
He's leading 30-15, serving for the match, and he reaches match point at 40-15. So a chance for Medvedev to become our 4th champion here in Miami Beach. I have to think that Fernández is still thinking about the call in the last game.
Yeah, he was really thrown off about that, and that's the danger of not concentrating, of letting things bother you. Fernández is that type of player.
He puts away the overhead winner, a swing of the racket because he is the champion. The boys 18 winner at the Rolex Orange Bowl Championships, Andrei Medvedev. 6'4", 2'6", 6'2", and Cindy has the winning interview.
You've been playing a lot of junior tennis lately. Do you think that sort of made you tired towards the end there?
Yeah, right. Because the juniors tournaments, keep going all week, and you have to be in the good condition to win.
Now, you've now won the World Youth Cup, the Sunshine Cup, the Rolex Orange Bowl. Is there anything left for you in juniors, or will you just be playing pros?
Yeah, I would like to win French Open, and maybe US Open, but not juniors.
No, you want to win the majors.
Yeah.
He's ready for the next step. Another champion at the Rolex Orange Bowl Championships. We'll be back with more in a minute.
The Rolex World of Adventure.
The Eagles flight team. Their split-second aerobatics at speeds of 200 miles per hour demand precise timing. For these daring pilots, the timepiece of choice is the Rolex Oyster Perpetual GMT Master 2 in stainless steel. Only at your official Rolex jeweler. On Wall Street, fortunes are won and lost and won again before 10:30. Amid the halls of ivy, the best ideas often come and go before 10:30. And on the back lots of Hollywood, love often blooms and fades before 10:30. Which is why Federal Express delivers before 10:30 at more places around the country than anyone else. Federal Express, absolutely, positively the best in the business.
We're here to roast the barons of buckling up. Two guys who've lost more limbs than a tree surgeon, Vince and Larry.
I love these guys. They remind me of my husband. Always broken in a dead-end job.
By getting people to buckle up, they've saved thousands of lives. On the job, what's the first thing that goes through their heads? The steering wheel!
Vince and Larry, tell me, how do you want your coffee? Regular or decapitated?
Give them a hand.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
It all started with over 400 players, and we have now crowned our 4 individual champions in the boys and girls 16 and 18-year-old divisions. The Rolex Orange Bowl tournament for 1990 is history, and the tennis balls have finally stopped bouncing.
There's 14-year-old Petra Kamstra. She's the newest Dutch treat from Rotterdam. She knows how to exploit her opponent's weaknesses, and she's got a great pro career ahead of her. Alex Correia, he reigns in Spain these days. He's 16 years old from Barcelona, and he's a solid clay courter with great pro potential. Pili Perez, wonderful, already tested the professional water. She's done so successfully. She's now a champion at the Rolex Orange Bowl. And Andrei Medvedev, he's known as the Bear. He's tested everything. He knows how to do it all well. He's got top talent, intensity, and just a sparkle of cockiness.
The 1990 Rolex Orange Bowl Tennis Championships have been brought to you from Miami Beach by 10K Thirst Quencher, the thirst quencher that actually tastes great. By Ryder, we're there at every turn. By Southern Bell, a Bell South company. Make doing business a touch easier. Call on us. By Tropicana Pure Premium. You can't pick a better juice. And by Rolex Precision Timepieces that deliver peerless performance and matchless elegance both on and off the court. For Cindy Schmerler, I'm John Sanders. Happy New Year from Miami Beach.